Hi, welcome back to my channel. This is Jennifer Scrapping Cane. Today I'm sharing a double 8.5 by 11 layout. This is by Scrapbook Generations. I am using a sketch from the Sketches with Large Photos. It's 2-page sketches. I am going to change up the sketch and I will explain how I do that when I get started on the layout. First, I'm going to show you the photos that I have here, which is 4 3x4s, and actually I have 5 3x4s here, but one of them my son said I couldn't use, so you won't see that one on the layout. And then I have quite a few 2x3s. I believe I have 7 in total. And then I have one large 8x10 photo. And I had got this printed at Walgreens. They run a free 8x10 printing every once in a while. And whenever I see that coupon, I always find a photo and I print it as an 8x10. And sometimes I use it and sometimes I don't, but I figure it's free and it gives me a little bit of different inspiration to use on a layout once in a while. So here I'm showing you the Vicki Boutin Emporium from 49 and Market. These are all of the chipboard and acetate and vellum pieces that I picked out to use on the layout. And most of them make it on the layout. There's a few of them that don't, but the chipboard frames, the Happy Smile I end up not using, but everything else I believe makes it on the layout except for the vellum flowers. The gold ones do. So I'm just going to put them over here in a tray so they don't get lost on my desk as I show you the rest of the items that I plan on using for the layout. Originally, I was going to use the new Boutin collection, and then I decided to use the Vicki Boutin collection because I like the papers in it better. So that was the puffy stickers. I actually end up not using any of those. These are the rub-ons, and I do use a few of the rub-ons, not a whole lot, but I do use a couple of those. I use a couple of the stickers out of the sticker pack, which I'm showing you here. And then this is the Bo Bunny sticker sheet, and I do pull a few of those also since some of the colors match the Vicki Boutin collection. These are all 6x8 papers by Vicki Boutin. These are from her older American craft collections. There's a few that are 49 Market. This one here, the purple, and the purple polka dot one is from the newer collection also. This blue scrap is from the collection. The green one is from an older collection. This yellow one is from an older collection. The orange polka dot is from the newer 49 Market. This one here is actually like a pinkish white color, and I actually end up not using that one. The other red one that I showed is from Storyteller. That's the only one I know exactly which collection it came from. But here I'm showing you the paper. I planned on using the green side. I actually don't use the green side of that paper that I showed. I do use the orange paper. That was from an older collection. This one here is what inspired me to use the sketch that I end up using. And I will show you again why when I start putting the layout together. I can't show the actual sketch since it is paid content. It is by Allison Davis, and I will leave a link down below in my description where you can find it and you can pick it up. It is a $6 collection, and it's totally worth it because all of her collections, all the sketches in this one are double pages. So that means that you actually get double the inspiration if you really look at it as single photo layouts. And also, you can always flip and turn and do different things with sketches. So I always find sketches are great for jumping off points. So here you can see I have the background papers already cut, ready to go. I'm going to go ahead and attach down the 8x10 photo. I did frame it in white cardstock. That was so that I could distress the edge. And I placed it right on top of that 12x12 paper. I cut out the border that's like tore, and then I distressed it a little bit more, and I also inked it up with black ink. And in the sketch, she shows the papers more spread apart, but basically it's kind of the same concept. And then she also has it going the other direction though, because the three photos that I'm going to place down on the right hand side, she actually has them over on the left hand side. So again, I kind of sort of flipped it and made it my own. I'm also going to add little borders, colored borders, to each of the little smaller photos. So some of the 3x4s and all of the 2x3s. And then this one here I'm going to place inside of a chipboard frame. And I did mat it with the red paper. And I'm going to go in rainbow order, but there's not really any rhyme or reason for the rainbow order. It's just that I like rainbow order. And the photos kind of played along right along with it. So these photos were from a zoo trip. And actually, the real animals were not coming out that day because it was so hot. We had decided to go to the zoo, or actually, Julian decided to go to the zoo. And when we got there, we were like, what were we thinking? It is so hot. The animals probably won't even be out. And then as we started walking through the zoo, we noticed all of these cool sculptures that they had in the zoo, and they were adding them around as decorations. And you can tell in some of the photos, they aren't even like put down correctly where they're going to stay like long term. So they didn't have all of them out on display, but some of them they did. And I took photos of them because I thought they were so cute. We probably will be taking a trip back to see them once they're actually all in place. But as of right now, they're not completely in place yet. So you can see I have the photo of him facing the camera down there at the bottom, and then the two little birds are inside of the other chipboard frame. And like I said, that is in the sketch. That's how she has it. She has journaling in one of the boxes, which I'm going to add the journaling to the top one. I'm going to go ahead and attach the photo down. And then I am actually going to slice through the photo about an inch. And I'm okay. It's fine. I cut through photos all the time. I just didn't want to cut through his arm or get a little bit too close to him. But I definitely like the way that it looks with the photo crossing both layouts. And then the left hand side is actually going to be my own design. That's not going to follow her sketch at all. In the sketch, she shows one 4x6, I believe, and it's actually on the right hand side, not the left, since I flipped the sketch. But I just decided that I wanted to include all of these little photos, and I think they show the details enough that you don't need large photos to show it off. And like I said, it's just documenting, the teenage years and our little trip to the zoo. So here, these are the extra pieces that pop out from the punch. So what I did is I punched each color to place on the 2x3 photos. And then I had this little piece pop out underneath the punch. So when you punch it out, you get, a second piece basically underneath that, really just goes in the trash. But instead of throwing it away, I decided to go ahead and add it in color order over here on this side. So this is a little rub on. I'm going to place it right on top of Happy. And I need it to be the right side so that You Make Me can fit right on top of it. And these are both chipboard pieces, so I did pull a layer of chipboard away to make it a little bit thinner. And that's just my preference. I don't want it to be that thick, so I just pulled it off. The flowers up there at the top were rub on, and these are by 49 Market, obviously. They rub on super easy, so I did not use like any tool or anything. I just rubbed them on with my finger, and it worked perfectly. And this is another rub on, and I'm going to add it right here at the top also. Again, just kind of highlighting the title. And if you read from the top to the bottom on the layout, once I get completely done, it does make sense. So I will read it when I get completely done because I haven't added everything down just yet. I'm going to go ahead and add the photos now, and two of the photos will cross over the middle also, and I will cut through them. And again, I don't mind cutting through them. The flower one, I don't believe I cut through any of the flowers. It just worked perfectly that where it landed, I didn't really cut through anything. It's just right through the middle. So this one here is the yellow flowers, and then I have the buffaloes and the two little bears. They were different bears, but they're both so cute. I decided to include both of them. And then I have there's two rams, and then there's like chipmunks or squirrels, chipmunks, I believe, that are in that middle one with the purple flowers also. And then there's purple flowers by themselves. So I went ahead and added in the colorful butterflies, and those were again in the pink, yellow, or orange actually, and blue. And I added them in a diagonal order. And then now I'm adding in all of the little labels that are either from Boutin or they're from the 49 and Market sticker sheet. I believe most of them came from the Boutin one, but I know that the yellow one that says these are the moments, I believe, and then the black one down at the bottom came from the 49 Market collection. So again, since now I'm adding all the labels, I will read what it actually says from top to bottom. So if you start at the top where it says happy, it says you make me happy. And then it says here, today, joyful moments like these, my whole world. Today's memories, a bunch of lovely flowers have the ability to brighten even a dark day. And like I said, it's not really a dark day. Like there was nothing bad or anything that happened on the day. It's just a moody teenager. That's all. Um, but I enjoy spending my days with him. I enjoy my time with him. So that was what I was documenting. And since I'm the one creating the layout, I always look at it as if I'm talking. So that's how I do my journaling. That's how I do anything that I put on the layout. And I did go ahead and journal on this layout also. And the reason for that is because, one, it's not that personal, but I also wanted to show how you can print journaling on vellum. I haven't done that for a while. That used to be like one of my really big things, was to journal on vellum. And I did buy a new printer so I can actually do my journaling again. And I definitely need to journal on more of his layouts. The journaling on this layout reads, time spent with you. Julian and I went to the Denver Zoo just for the fun of it. It was so hot that most of the animals weren't even out. The zoo was remodeling and adding these cool animal sculptures. So I took a few photos. Julian, of course, didn't want to take any pictures. I got him to take at least one for me. And then uh, love our time together is what the bottom sticker says. And then there's another sticker in the close-ups on his photo that says something to be thankful for. And again, I'm always thankful for my son. So I was thankful for the time that day also. And instead of staying at the zoo, we actually went to the museum instead, since it's right by there. And they had an exhibit for dinosaurs, which he still likes dinosaurs, even though he won't admit it. But I really enjoyed creating this layout. I always enjoy using Allison Davis sketches, and I will leave a link down below to Scrapbook Generation, where you can pick up this sketch bundle or any other sketch bundle. And I will see you in the next video. Bye!